All right. So this is like the first video on my channel, Wake and Bake with Tom, that I've recorded. And whenever I get done making the video, I'm like, I mean, is that even worthy of being the first video for my channel? I mean, is it really worth it? Is it worthy? I mean, is this even worth even putting up? And I've had a lot of, things to say in the past and always wanted to like rant and all that shit. And to be completely honest, like I don't even know how much I'm going to do with this channel now. Like I have always had these great aspirations, but it's never worked out. But the point of this video is like, welcome to Wake and Bake with Tom. It's it should be interesting at the least. But this first video is about one thing, and one thing only. And that one thing that it's about is Donald J. Trump. There is a lot that someone can say about Donald J. Trump. I mean, there's just no question that there's a lot that can be said. But if you listen to an amalgamation of what he has said in the last 30 years, if you look at the fact that he basically, his public persona, it hasn't really changed. Like his stances on issues haven't really shifted that much. There are some that will say that, well, he's a closet Democrat, or like ridiculous political terminology is what I'll say is what gets thrown at him. And the thing is that Donald Trump is not a politician. He's learning to become a politician. And he's learning to become, well, a better man. And when I say a better man, I'm talking about this task that he took upon himself, probably after, I mean, even Oprah asked him if he thought ever of running for president. So that has to give you some idea about the aura and the persona that this man has, Donald J. Trump. And it's the first time in watching a political speech, or listening and watching to political speeches, it's the first time since listening to John F. Kennedy expose the shadow government, listening to some of the stuff that Ronald Reagan would say about, the scariest words in the English language: I'm here for the government and I'm here to help. So, like that aside, I have never heard any politician ever, except for the founding political body of America out of the 13 colonies. I have never heard and read and listened to a politician or a man with political ideas say things just across the board that are for promoting the general welfare of the people. And this is an aspect of the limitation of government, as a matter of fact. I mean, this is, the government is to be limited in scope for a purpose. Now, the primary purpose of an established, formed government in the ideas of the original political establishment of America, the overriding theme through all of the issues, when you talk about foreign policy, when you talk about, waging war and things like that, that even above that, as the prime directive of what the government is supposed to do, is promote the general welfare of the people. In fact, I think every act of government can actually be measured for its, not only its effectiveness, number one, number two, if it's even a function that government should have. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, even if the government could say, manage a theme park, for example. Let's say the government could manage a theme park and actually would turn a profit that would then be used to reduce the tax burden, the direct tax burden, unapportioned tax burden, of course. But let's just for argument, you could say, oh well, they're doing a great job. I mean, obviously that this is perfectly fine. Well, but okay, so let's say they don't do a great job. Let's say they start losing money, and actually they're increasing taxation, unapportioned, of course, um, unequally apportioned taxation upon the people. Then people would be really upset with that. Well, okay, so if it goes either way, and you're getting two different results of people saying, well, we're okay with that, and then, oh, now we're being taxed for it, well, then we don't want it. If that's the case, then that is something that is not promoting the general welfare of the people. And I'm pretty sure that that would pass a logic test for most individuals who would come across this video, as an example. But yeah, I mean, it's Donald J. Trump. I would say that right now he is the greatest man alive. That's a term that's been reserved for people like George Washington, um, the King of England, saying that he's the greatest man alive, and in an age of deceit, in an age where Donald Trump is a billionaire, he doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to do this, but he is. And if it isn't money that he's after, clearly it's not power because he's got plenty of that. I mean, the guy was on TV on a long running series where he was firing highly talented and motivated people for a living, for a paycheck. Just something to do. I mean, literally, Trump is a brand. I mean, he doesn't need to be president to validate his existence. But he does it because I believe, as a man, that Trump loves the idea of America and he wants to see it restored to its previous luster. And I, for one, I don't know about you, but if you watch enough of his political speeches, it's very clear that he's for the general welfare of the people, and that's what the purpose of government really is, to promote the general welfare of the people and not pick winners and losers. So that's it. Wake and bake with Tom.